The finals just had a brand new World Tour update. We'll also go over some social updates and things around the community, what both veteran players are wanting and new players as well. And then of course we'll go over those last minute mentionables, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up world, it's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things the finals. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Let's go over the World Tour update, what we're seeing there, and the social updates as well. So first up here we do have an update from Oscar, who says it's time for our last stop with ESOLT's generous sponsorship, and as usual they're going out with style. This week your team will be rewarded with some extra cash for showing off by emoting near a cash out that your team starts, steals, or completes. A dance floor will appear whenever a player opens a vault, starts a cash out, steals a cash out, or completes a cash out. When the dance floor appears, you'll have 5 seconds to strike a pose and hold that pose for at least 2 seconds. Doing so will award your team with 1,000 points or 1,000 cash here. Also, everyone in your team can do it, so make sure to coordinate your best moves and maximize that cash. And as you'll see from the trailer footage, it'll pop down a little floorboard there where you can stand and dance on. And again, you have 5 seconds to do so with 2 seconds of emoting, so you have a 3-second grace period. Moving on though, we did get some additional updates here, this pertaining to the social and announcements page. So they have actually dropped another highlight reel for Season 4. They do also mention here that the Season 4 submissions are now closed, but they've released a fresh submission link for Season 5, where you can submit all your Season 5 links. Another cool notion here, they said, remember that if your clip makes it to the highlight reel, you'll be amongst the few stars to receive the exclusive weapon charm, which you can see that here. If you are on the featured page or on the featured highlight reel, you'll receive this highlight featuring, and then it will say your name contestant. So really cool there, even a custom exclusive weapon charm. At least I do assume it's going to say your name on the bottom here. So if you are featured in that highlight reel, you will actually have something that has your name on it and it will be exclusive to you, which is pretty cool there. I really do like how they get involved with the community. Again, I'll include a link to the submission for Season 5 as well as the Season 4 highlight reel if you want to check that out. It is actually a decently long one this time, but short enough to enjoy. Now we do have some additional social updates here. Again, this one from Oscar, where he did the first community stream of 2025, and he did go live on both the Twitch and YouTube as usual. Again, if you do want to check that out or check out the live stream, you can still watch the video playback. I'll link to both the Twitch VOD as well as the YouTube VOD so you can pick which one you want. Typically, again, as always, YouTube has a higher bitrate, so you have better quality there, but if you want a better chat experience, you'll probably want to go to Twitch. Now, from my knowledge, looking through some of the clips, there wasn't anything too notable about the stream, or at least as far as leaks goes or teasers. Sometimes Oscar does talk about those during those streams. It doesn't seem like we got anything much with that there. Although he did give a small shout out to XQC a little bit here, where he did reference the dog cam monitor clip. It's a pretty famous and big clip, at least over on the Twitch community, so that was a bit funny there. I'll include a link to the clip down below if you do want to watch that. Although we do have one Reddit post here mentioning something that happened from a previous live stream. Now this was in reference to the Season 3 World Tour intro video, and it was during, I believe, a community live stream with Oscar, which this did obviously pertain to Season 3, as that was one that was introduced alongside Terminal Attack. And as a commenter, or Mr. Newt, points out here, that the context around this essentially was they received a lot of backlash during that time period. After a couple of weeks, people began to ask about rule changes for World Tour, and the response from the dev was that it was now the only place to get the game of the true cash-out experience, and that they didn't want to alienate any more players. So at this point, they could start with wackier rules and it would be fine, but essentially that was the context of this clip. Now, as we've seen with this World Tour update, there is a bit of wackier things happening finally, so hopefully they do kind of pertain and lean into that a little bit more, seeing as ranked mode has been restored back to just cash out, and we're no longer getting Terminal Attack as the main mode there. As I pointed out before, I would love to see loadout sets or even just wackier rules in general, or LTMs that really could spice up the game and make it fun. I also held a poll for this on my Discord. If you want to check those out, we do run polls of the day nearly every single day. Now that might be done by a moderator or myself. Shy Dog has been carrying that for a very long time, and I thank him very much. Although, of course, I will try to involve myself more with that when I can. But if you do want to check those out, we also have threads where you can have discussions about the polls of the day. They're really fun. They don't always pertain to the finals. Sometimes they're for Once Human, sometimes they're for IRL things. Like, for example, today the one is just about vacation spots. However, back to the finals, I did run one for what basically would bring new players in. And I had this one about more maps per season, more guns, gadgets per season, new modes, vehicles, better customizations, new classes, or even to add nothing at all, that it's fine with the seasonal content structure as it is. Now, believe it or not, the new modes, TDM, Battle Royale, and LTMs actually won by quite a landslide. I know there was a lot of pushback, especially with Battle Royale, but just new modes in general, I do believe is why that won. Now, I'm going to host the poll over on YouTube side of things. That way we can get a much larger range there. Although, as you can see, the vote count on these polls over on my Discord has upped quite substantially. At this point, they've basically like 5x'd with the amount of votes there. I do always appreciate that, so if you do want to give your feedback there, I can eventually, if I ever have a dev Q&A session with Embark, I can run that by them, what the community concerns are, and kind of what the community wants overall. Again, I will try to run that poll over on YouTube side of things. That way, for those who don't want to join Discord or haven't had a Discord, they can voice their opinion as well. Speaking of how to bring more players in and newer players, we also do have another post that pertains to that. So we had one of the top posts here talking about the game needs to welcome new players, not test or punish them. Now, this first one here, I've actually had this comment a lot under my videos and on Discord as well. They talk about how they should cut the cost of unlocking new gear in half. The grind for new players to build up multiple loadouts is just way too much. That the initial unlocking grind should be kind of relatively quick and provide a near constant reinforcement. I do actually really agree with that. I think a lot of the stuff should be unlocked fairly easily, and I thank games like Marvel Rivals for not locking any characters behind any paid or in-game currency. So many games do that nowadays. We even had Overwatch put that up in their battle passes. Call of Duty and Helldivers puts weapons in their battle passes. Still have no idea why people praise Helldivers battle pass, especially because they do that. I think that's so egregious. New weapons should always be released for free and should essentially be nearly null of a grind, or as this commenter points out, it should be very easy for new players to get. So I definitely agree with that. I really do think they should cut the cost of gear to unlock it a lot easier, as it really does make it more welcoming, and players do feel like they can actually grind a bit without it feeling like you're dragging a carrot in front of their face. I feel like that can get a bit tedious there, and people do get burnt out. We're also not talking about MMO players here, these are FPS players, and I feel like they have a much more limiting landscape when it comes to that. There's another subsection here, that quick search for players under level 30, 40, 50, basically a newbie mode. Or if you played Call of Duty, there was like a rookie mode or rookie playlist. I think that could be good, although that might be essentially alt heaven, or there's people kind of smurfing there. What I really think they need to put in is an LFG section. Now, Xbox already has this, but both PlayStation and PC do not have dedicated LFGs. Of course, there is one on the official Discord, there's also one on my Discord, but there is not one overall. So I do hope they add an LFG system. I know we have clubs and there's kind of an LFG system there, but I do think they should just tie one directly into the game for people that don't use clubs, as well as just having one in general in case your members aren't online. The third point here is they say they need to be newbie-friendly weapons or viable weapons, although at that point, I might disagree with overall. I do think there's a lot of newbie weapons in the game so far. In my opinion, Flamethrower would be one of those, since it's really just kind of like a point and click, and the damage output of it is pretty strong with it also applying a dot, but I understand here that they do want to kind of welcome in more players. Again, I will poll this over on YouTube side of things to kind of see what we could do to bring in more players, what people think they need. Before our last bit of mentionables, we do actually have a really unique and nice application. Now, this one is a stat tracker for the finals. I have featured this app before, but it's gone through a ton of revamping and it's got officially published. So this is through the Overwolf client. This is essentially a comprehensive tool to stat track everything in the finals, from your profile stats to your loadouts, your weapons, your gadgets, your ranked matches, classes, friends, ratings, dynamic modes. There is a ton of things here, including even player cards, and an advanced breakdown of everything, stats by matches and even maps. This tool is pretty insane and super in-depth, with some post-match analytics, match performance, even recent match stats. There is a lot of stuff here that you can cover through this. You can use either the app version or the online login version. This is completely safe to use, as they've even had discussions with Embark and their moderators. Also, their API doesn't record any logins at all, and it's even tied into Overwolf, which is officially published. And myself, I have worked with Overwolf before, so I do know they are a legit organization. Again, if you want to use either this desktop version or app version, you can to track all your stuff. I will include a link down below in the description. Jumping over, of course, we do have those last bit of mentionables. We're again, I do feature cosmetics from my star models page over on my Discord. Back again for another week, we have Choopy showing Ghost from COD. This one is masterfully well done. Really does mirror just how close these cosmetics can get to other games or just other mediums. The diversity there is really nice. Which we also have this one from Crypto, who shows off his Aiden Pierce cosplay from Watch Dogs. Again, just getting so close to other mediums. I think these are so cool that the cosmetics can mirror that. I think they're really fun to showcase and kind of have fun with. Really do like this one as well. Also, I know I mentioned this last video, please, if you have won a giveaway, especially for a game like the finals, please do contact me on Discord if you have won, as I've had to re-roll the giveaway twice now, and I give up to 72 hours to contact me once you've won, so please do so because I do want to move on to more giveaways eventually. Overall, that's about covered for today's video. If you like, subscribe, and until the next one. Deuces.